Dr. Suman Keshri, the worthy chief guest of today's webinar, Dr. Tanya Gupta, Principal, Army Institute of Education, Greater Noida, Mr. Vidhi Singh Jamwal, Chairman, Jamwal Group of Educational Institutes, Dr. Radhika Menon, Mata Sundari College, University of Delhi, Ms. Shivya Hanglu, IAS, Punjab, Dr. A.K. Srivastav, Director, Yoganand College of Engineering and Technology, Jammu, our esteemed resource persons for the day, other distinguished invitees, delegates, members from the teaching fraternity, students, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning and a very happy International Women's Day 2021. I deem it a great honor and privilege to extend you all a most heartiest and warm welcome to this webinar on the occasion with the theme We Include, organized by Government Degree College Chennai in association with the Army Institute of Education Greater Noida, Jamwal Group of Educational Institutes Jammu, and the NGO Global Helping Hands. The program, ladies and gentlemen, encompasses a pertinent theme of plight of disabled women, which is an ignored issue of the Indian society. India, as it is an amalgam of cultures, modes, traditions, religions, languages, philosophies, beliefs, customs, and of regions, climates, and topographies. But whoever they are, wherever they come from, whatever they do for a living, Indians value their diversity. Regardless of their social, religious, economic, political, geographical differences, there are two qualities that are shared by most Indians. One is tolerance and patience, and the other is the ingrained belief in traditions and socio-cultural norms. These have been responsible for the preservation, maintenance, and continuance of a social structure based on caste and class, and acceptance of injustice, discrimination, exploitation, and abuse as part of one's karma or fate. You would agree. The status of disability and the course of the disability movement in India can be best understood within this framework. This line of thinking, unfortunately, in which the past, present, and future are attributed to supernatural powers, typifies the Indian philosophical thought with its belief in karma and is accepted in large even today in the large part of our society. Social norms in India are influenced by values such as productivity, the right to private property, and patriarchy. Much is made of the rule of law, the institution of marriage, the family as a social unit, and the importance of religion. The family comprising of able bodied, heterosexual, and people engaged in socially acceptable livelihoods is the fundamental social unit. The history of the Indian women's movement has been one of the focus on poverty, caste, and employment, and issues such as dowry, sati, population control, female feticide, sexuality, domestic violence. Its agenda has not generally included disability. The women with disability do not physically measure up to the able bodied standards. Neither does society expect them to do so. In many cases, they are not expected to adopt the roles of wife and mother. Women with disability do not, however, quietly acquiesce to this. Physical challenges and perceptions of women with disability as defenseless made them easy targets. Verbal and physical sexual harassment by strangers occur in public spaces. Very unfortunate this is. Public spaces such as trains, buses, etc. Women are vulnerable to exploitation because of their dependence on others for support and possibly as a result of men perceiving them sexually available. Structural forms of violence include inequalities in access to work opportunities in private or public institutions. And some women are denied jobs and social support. General discriminatory attitudes of potential employers towards women with impairments are often explained as concerns that they would not be able to keep up with other colleagues, would be less productive, or would be incapable of completing their work. Although this may seem to be of minor importance, the pattern of ignoring and isolating the disabled woman is a repeated thought throughout the national and international publications and websites of people with disabilities. Women with disabilities do not form a homogeneous group. For example, the mentally ill, mentally retarded, visually impaired, hearing and speech impaired, and those with restricted mobility or so-called medical disabilities all encounter different barriers of different kinds which have to be overcome in different ways. In addition, adding to the prejudice and discrimination barrier, the inaccessibility of the physical environment, example buildings, roads, transport, toilet facilities, is a severe impediment to disabled women working outside their homes. Women with disabilities are the easy victim for the exploitation and mistreatment within the family as well. We also do not discuss these issues in public. The great demand of parents of mentally retarded daughters for necessary sterilization speaks volumes in this context. There is a need to deal with this issue by creating awareness and strengthening the existing laws to punish the offenders rigorously. Adoption of children with disabilities is another issue, without which these children they stay homeless. Apart from economic independence, work is an essential means of enabling a person to develop a sense of identity and self esteem. Thus, gainful employment is an important means of promoting the social integration of disabled women. Without effective corrective action, the result of disability will add to the obstacles to the development of women with disabilities. Hence, it is vital that we include instantaneous, sufficient, and suitable measures for the equalization of prospects for girls and women with disabilities in the society. We value that this program has brought the academicians, scientists, experts, students, and members from our local community together on a platform to understand and discuss the issues relating to different aspects of this problem. We look forward to fruitful discussions and deliberations on the aspect on this International Women's Day today, 2021. Thank you so very much. And now I switch over to Dr. Pooja Gupta for taking the program further on. Dr. Pooja.
Well said, Pratik. And thank you so much. Good afternoon, one and all present here. Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Suman Kesari ji, respected dignitaries, Dr. Radhika Menon, Dr. Shivya Hanglu, Dr. Chandrakant Gariyal ji, Dr. Pragya Khanna, Principal GTC, Principal AI, Dr. Tanya Gupta, Engineer Pridhi Singh Tamwal ji, Chairman, Jamwal Group of Education, and Global Helping Hand, and other respected resource panelists on the board, dear colleagues, and my dear student teachers. A very happy International Women's Day. I, Dr. Pooja Gupta, on behalf of Army Institute of Education, welcome you all for this panel discussion to celebrate International Women's Day. And we have quite a distinguished panel today. I will introduce them one by one. The International Women's Day, we know that this day is celebrated every year on 8th March. It is the day for praising women who work hard every day to accomplish individual and professional goals. Everyone should acknowledge the worth and significance of women in their lives and their tremendous contribution to society as well. Even as per Manusmriti, it is well said, Yatra naryastu pujyante ramante tatra devta, where women are honored, divinity blossoms. And in this light, this panel discussion aims to provide a forum for critical analysis of women inclusive world. So we hopefully will stir things up and hear different opinions. And at the end, we will have the 10 minutes open discussion forum. So all the participants are requested, if they are having any query, they can put up their queries in chat box, and please don't unmute yourself for smooth functioning. Now, I would like to invite our first panelist, Ms. Sangeeta Dhar. She's TGT Biology, working in SOS HGS Jammu since 2001. So I welcome you, Sangeeta ji. So hand over to you,
Thank
Sangeeta
you,
ji.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Let me start.
Sure, ma'am.
To all the movers, the makers, the hustlers, the shakers, to those who stand strong and when needed, those who quietly move on, to those who build boundaries, raise babies, make memories, and refuse to take rest. We are the ladies paving the way for new generation who are ready to be happy, stand tall and stand proud for all that we are. Not what media say we should be or could be, but that is we are here standing now, amazing, intelligent, incredible. Good morning to all the amazing women and other dignitaries. Myself, Sangeeta Dhar from SOS HGS Jammu. International Women's Day is a global day celebrating the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. The day also makes a call to action for accelerating gender parity. Theme of 2021, every year, March 8 is celebrated as International Women's Day. This year, the goal is to create a gender equal world. It is about celebrating a woman's success and raising awareness against bias. So we all should choose to challenge to bring the change. Several missions have been created to do the same. We should celebrate tech women and their innovations, applaud equality for women in sport, educate women on health choice decisions, build inclusive workplaces so women thrive, increase visibility of women creatives, and forge women's empowerment worldwide. What is the history of this amazing day? It was during 1908, there was an ongoing critical debate amongst women regarding their apprehension and inequality. The campaign for change started to become more vocal when 15,000 women marched through New York City, demanding shorter hours, better pays, as well as voting demands. In 1909, the first Women's Day was observed across United States. In 1910, International Conference of Working Women was held in Copenhagen. That is where the idea was proposed by Clara Zetkin, a leader of Women's Office for Social Democratic Party in Germany. In 1911, International Women's Day was honored for the first time in Austria, Denmark, Germany, and Switzerland. On 19th March, between 1930 and 1940, women in Russia observed their first Women's Day on February 23. Later, it was decided that March 8 can be globally accepted day to celebrate International Women's Day. International Women's Day was celebrated for the first time by the United Nations in 1975. Colors of International Women's Day. I'm talking about the colors. There are the colors of the International Women's Day. Did you know there are also colors for the day? The three colors are purple, green, and white. Purple signifies justice and dignity. Green symbolizes hope. And white represents purity. International Women's Day is not specific to any country, group, or organization. The day belongs to women everywhere. Let us identify, celebrate, and increase visibility of women's achievements. I wish a very happy Women's Day to all the ladies out there. Thank you and have a nice day.
Yes, thank you, Sangeeta ji, for giving us detailed information on history of International Women's Day. And color significance also. In this series, we are having our next panelist, Ms. Rekha Kaul, and she will speak on religious and spiritual features of women, making them different in universe. And still I remember one more quote from Manusmriti, that Stri Moolam hi Dharma. The root of Dharma is indeed woman. And with this, I would like to invite Ms. Rekha Kaul. She is a TGT physics working in SOS HGS Jammu since 2002. And she organized many events and did marvelous job in the field of science. With this, I welcome you, Ms. Rekha ji.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. This is Rekha Kaul from HGS Jammu, wishing Happy Women's Day to all the incredible women. Shine on, not just today, but every day. Women, W stands for wonderful human. O stands for outstanding friend. M stands for marvelous daughter. A for adorable sister. N for nurturing mother. Women, the unique personality is bestowed with emotional baggage we carry with showering love and kindness. Women is closely related to religion. That's why she is willing to listen. She has patience to understand. She has strength to support everyone, everywhere. She has a caring heart and more emotional than opposite gender. Women view work more holistically as a component of their overall life plan. Women, that means we are more likely to approach our careers in a self-reflective way. And we value factors like meaning, purpose, connection with co-workers, and work-life integration. Women are great leaders because we are able to balance professional and personal leadership skills. We are naturally empathetic and we have a strong understanding of what drives and motivates people. Women are great listeners and appreciates people and their viewpoints. Women are multitaskers. They are creative problem solvers and strong communicators. Many women, especially moms, are trained caretakers and they know how to deal with crisis situations at home with compassion and patience. हजारों फूल चाहे एक माला बनाने के लिए, हजारों दीपक चाहिए एक आरती सजाने के लिए, हजारों बूंद चाहिए समुद्र बनाने के लिए, पर एक स्त्री अकेली ही काफी है इस दुनिया को स्वर्ग बनाने के लिए. Because God has bestowed all the features to the women and making the women altogether a different and unique personality in the whole universe. Once again, Happy Women's Day to all of the ladies who are here with me and all the ladies who are watching this video, watching this amazing program on this eve of International Women's Day. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Rekha ji. Well said. Woman is the best creation of this nature. If you give her a smile, she will give you her heart. So with this, I would like to invite our next guest speaker or panelist, Ms. Sandhya Sharma. She is TGT English in Kendriya Vidyalaya Nagarota. And Sandhya ji will speak on social situation of divorced mother and their children. I welcome Ms. Sandhya.
Thank you, ma'am. Remember, women, you were born life giver, miracle creator, magic maker. You were born with the heart of 1,000 mothers, open and fearless and sweet. You were born with fire of queens and conquerors, warriors' blood you bleed. You were born with wisdom of sages, and no wound can you not heal. You were born to desire with passion, to name your own destiny. Remember, women, remember, you are more than you can see. Good morning to all the dignitaries and eminent personalities present on the occasion of International Women's Day 2021. This is Sandhya Sharma, TGT English, rendering services in Kendriya Vidyalaya Nagrota. And I'm sharing a common platform with you all is a matter of pride for me, and sharing my views is something beyond imagination. Still, I'll try, as theme for this year is Choose to Challenge, which simply means voicing out and challenge to emerge successfully. My topic is social situation of divorced mothers and their children. Divorce is a heavy word. In our country, divorce is still a word that no one wants to say out loud. The little normalization that has been brought to this word is through daily soaps we watch over TVs. Even then, it is treated like a big deal, like a last resort, something that means different things to both the parties involved. In 21st century, we have come really far, but we have still somehow managed to make divorce sound like a bad thing. This makes no sense because marriage in our country is still treated like a deal between two parties. So having a way, break that agreement, just like in business, shouldn't be that big a deal. Divorce means different things for husband and a wife. As a society, we still have a long way to go. It is apparent from how divorce is a choice for husband and never an option for the wife. A woman wanting divorce is shunned from her family and in-laws alike. This is reason why women choose to stay in unhappy marriages and don't speak out until they find themselves in harm's way. If a woman somehow does get a divorce, she has to go through even more turmoil, especially when the custody of kids is involved. For an unemployed woman, this is way too big a fight to fight. Society looks at divorced women negatively, and this is something they have to live with all their lives. In this charade, the kids have to suffer, and they are being treated like an orphan, I can say. Divorce helps a woman to be free from her husband, but not the father of her kids. Every document, every enrollment, every registration requires a father's signature. This is another conundrum for divorced women who have divorced their husbands due to emotional or physical abuse. And let's not forget the mental health of a woman and her kids. As a society, we have to do better. We need to change the way we think about divorce, and we have to normalize it. Help women understand that it is an option, that they can get out of bad marriages if they want. And the change starts at home. Let's teach our mothers, our sisters, daughters, and friends not to spend time beating on a wall, hoping it will transform into a door. Don't look for healing at the feet of those who break you. It is always better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. Only you can change your life. No one can do it for you. Just don't be afraid. Be focused, be determined, be hopeful, be empowered. Thank you, and happy Women's Day to all of you.
Yeah, thank you, Sandhya ji, for your insightful words. The world is moving towards gender equality, a balance between men and women. We all are humans and should be treated equally with equal rights and opportunities. So with this, we are having our next panelist, Ms. Sangeeta Verma, who will speak on gender equality and obstacles to equality. And Ms. Sangeeta Verma is in Army Public School, Nagrota. So I welcome you, Sangeeta ji.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So think like a queen. A queen isn't afraid to fail. Failure is another stepping stone to greatness. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sangeeta. I'm working as TGT English at APS Nagrota. And today I'm talking about gender equality and obstacles to equality. Achieving gender equality requires the engagement of women and men, girls and boys. It is everyone's responsibility. Every human has the potential to achieve astounding things, but for females, everywhere that potential is cut short by discrimination and inequality. Gender inequality has been a social issue in India for centuries. That is, many parts of India, the birth of girl child is not welcome. We all know that a girl child is not welcomed in India. The discrimination starts from even before the girl child is born, and sometimes she is killed as a fetus. And if she manages to see the light of the day, she is killed as infant or as a wife in demand of dowry. We all have seen such cases in like around us. A recent case I want to talk about of Gujarat. So it's hard to imagine this state of affairs in this 21st century when women have proved to be strong leaders. From wrestling to business, the world has revolutionized by exceptional women leaders in every field that were until completely dominated by men. But in spite of such progress, even today, a girl child is discriminated in most Indian households. And we all must have been watching and seeing such examples. So I request every woman to fight against such things. If you find anything around you that a girl, a woman, a wife, a sister is being discriminated. So now I would like to throw some light on barriers to women's workplace inequality. There are few reasons for the problems faced by women. First one is lack of women leaders. Second, gender stereotype. Third, lack of flexibility at work practices. Sexism and pregnancy discrimination. A worrisome fact is that while there seems to be equal opportunities for men and women in entry level position, the roads towards the road toward the more senior levels are unfortunately blocked for women. While it is undeniable that greater workforce composition of women is one of the most positive social change in 21st century. Struggle for equal opportunities persist as women are still excluded from the top positions. With 40% of global labor force currently is female, only 46% of Fortune 500 CEOs are female, others are males. These days, women at the workplace are intelligent, smart, ambitious, but still faces barriers to equality. So the need of the hour is to make a change in the mindset of society and destroy the prejudices that damages the future of girl child. It is high time that every child should be treated equally and given equal opportunities required to grow to his or her full potential, whether that's a girl or a boy. We should create a world where both boys and girls' birth is celebrated. They should have access to equal opportunities to study, to grow, to prosper. There should be a continuous efforts towards the breaking myth and stereotype around gender. In the last, I would like to say, life doesn't always give us what we deserve, but rather what we demand. So I request all the females that you must continue to push harder than any other person in this meeting. So it is the time that we all see gender as a spectrum instead of two sets of opposing ideals. Thank you. Have a nice day and happy Women's Day to everyone.
Thank you, Sangeeta. I strongly agree. We need to change our mindset to develop this society. Yes, now in this series, we are having our next guest speaker, Miss Shivya Hanglu. She is an IS officer, Punjab. She did her BTech from Punjab Engineering College, Chandigarh, in electronics and communication. Ma'am, we welcome you on board to share your views on the theme.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah.
May I start?
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, first of all, for giving such warm welcome. And first of all, I would like to wish all the members here a very happy Women's Day. So as we all know that here we are today to celebrate the womanhood, the idea of being a woman in itself. So I would say that as we have entered the third decade of the 21st century today, so what we have seen that over the years, the challenges that have been faced by women they have been dynamically changing. So the challenges that were faced maybe by the previous generation, like my mother or grandmother, are not the same today, but they are present in different forms and different shapes. And so the idea of women empowerment must change accordingly. So if I talk about my own experience of sitting in the exam of UPSC Civil Services, I think I have sort of understood what sort of challenges at a certain level exist in our country particularly. And in my opinion, the most important challenge and the solution itself is education. So we see how many of the girls in our country, they are still deprived of accessing the correct education. And even if they manage to go to the primary schools and secondary schools, most of the girls don't make it to the higher education. So that is a big obstacle that we are facing in our country. And we have seen how education as a tool becomes the tool of empowering us all. And we have seen how all of the ladies that are present over here are because of right education that we have gained over the years. So, and particularly as ma'am mentioned earlier, that this session is devoted to the women from the field who are specially abled women, I would say. So I think they sort of face their own set of difficulties, their own set of challenges because of lack of accessible infrastructure that is not present around us, because of lack of support from the family itself that there's lacking at times. But here I'd like to share the experience of one of the UPSC toppers herself, Ira Singhal. She was a UPSC topper in 2014. Ma'am was suffering from a spine disorder. And she was not allowed, despite topping the exam, she was not allowed to take the service because it was not as per her abilities, so to say. But she fought for her rights. She fought a PIL in the court and she won the case. And at the same time, she parallelly topped the exam. So what this example shows us is that sheer perseverance and determination will take you forward. So there might be obstacles in the way. There might be some people will bog you down with their words, but it is upon us women to hold strong, to keep moving forward and to stand for our own rights and to be aware that we are as equal part of the society as men. And for that, we men also need to come forward and support us, support the women around us, them. So I think it's only then that we'll be able to make our world more inclusive, more equal. And as we have seen that the theme of this Women's Day is choose to challenge. So I think every person over here, be it man, be it woman, they need to challenge the stereotypes, the obstacles that they're facing around themselves, from minor level in the families to the larger levels in the policy making at the administrative levels. I think we need to challenge the stereotype, challenge the obstacles that we are facing, and only then we can create a more inclusive society. Thank you and happy Women's Day to all of you.
Thank you, Shipya, for inspiring our young budding teachers. Thank you so much. Now we are having our next resource person, Dr. Radhika Menon. Radhika, are you there on board?
Yes, I'm there. Thank you, Dr. Gupta. Thank you.
I'm just giving you a brief.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Yeah.
Yes, Dr. Radhika. Dr. Radhika Menon teaches at Mata Sundari College, University of Delhi. She is a teacher, educator, sociologist with research on issues on gender, caste, and class. She has designed curriculum, text, and developed classrooms. Practices for a constructivist pedagogy in social sciences. She is a trained therapist and started her career in the disability and development sector. As a gender educator, she has been involved with various institutions, including in the ICC as external member. So I welcome you, Radhika.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Gupta. I would like to extend warm greetings to all of you, all the panel members. It's a pleasure indeed that I'm in a panel with women members who have contributed to society in various ways, and I'm really it is my pleasure indeed. I would also like to thank and greet members of the staff, teachers, and students of Army Institute of Education, the Jamwal group of the educational institutions, the Government College, Degree College at Chenani, Jammu. I am thankful that that this gathering could be organized, and it enables us to have a discussion around such an important theme. It is indeed a reflection of our times that we are meeting virtually.
Radhika, please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Am I, was I audible all this while, or?
Just for a
now
second.
It is audible.
Yeah. Okay. I would like to thank the Army group of, was I audible earlier, or was it?
Yes, you were. Continue, please.
Was I audible earlier?
You were audible. Please continue.
Okay. All right. So it is in fact a reflection of our times that we are meeting virtually. And it is reports after reports are coming in that that the kind of challenges that we have faced as a result of the pandemic world over, the kind of impact it has had on education, particularly girls' education, has been so severe that probably we are going to be set back by several decades in the kind of advancements that we have made in the area of education world over. This is coming in from different parts of, and even in our country, we know that the girls' education has suffered as a result of the pandemic and the kind of constraints that it has imposed upon us. So, so while we do get a chance to, there are always the two sides. For instance, we are while we have got a chance to interact with each other through this platform, there are also a lot of people who have been kept out of this conversations and the discussions. So there are challenges. There are indeed challenges, and we are commemorating this International Women's Day at a time when this new kind of challenge of educational setbacks are also facing us. But what I would like to particularly focus upon is for instance, what the pandemic has also posed, for instance, is the possibility of reorganizing the world and looking at the world in a new ways. For instance, seeing how, what can be prioritized, what kind of values need to be prioritized. For instance, the values of cooperation, of care, concern, of coming togetherness, of extending empathy and listening to each other, and extending, across borders, across the world, extending our arms of cooperation to the world. So all this, there is a possibility of these kind of values dominating as well, even if the virus is kind of standing up against us. Interestingly, these values are also kinds of values that what one would call the feminist values of reorganizing the world around principles of concern and care. The history of, say, for instance, patriarchy may be as old as agriculture, and we do have a system, a socio-structural system, which has kind of given a certain kind of dominance and privilege to the men. But the possibility of the need to reorganize the world around cooperation and concern has become more and more imminent, more and more important in the current times. And I think the pandemic has also posed that. So this International Women's Day, we are also celebrating in the backdrop of this reassertion and re-emergence of these values. I think that often as an educator, I do get sometimes students to pose this question that but is feminism about the importance, basically an inversion of the woman's dominance over men instead of the men dominating over women. I would often say, because with references from literature, with the kind of struggles and movements and the history of the women's movement, that the feminist values are primarily about reorganizing and reordering society around equality, of justice, of care and concern. So I don't think this the worries of the worries of patriarchy being inverted with some other forms of inequity is not the worry, but it's primarily about organizing the world around concerns and of care and cooperation. Here, I would also like to, say, Gloria Steinem is an important feminist of the second wave of feminism, and she did point to the fact that she spoke of it with reference to the International Women's Day and also about women's struggle for equality. She had mentioned that it's not the struggle of women alone; it's the struggle of all people who are concerned about human rights. It's a struggle for for better rights for everybody. And here and it's not only Gloria Steinem who's saying that. World over, whoever is concerned about the condition of the human condition, the need to liberate all human beings from suffering, for a better world, are all concerned about the fact that women's rights are an important part of human liberation. And it is the responsibility of each one of us who are concerned about it to contribute in this direction. For instance, even an organization like the World Economic Forum, which is so much more interested in productivity and efficiency, they also have noted that that the struggle for gender parity is something that that will take a long time, and it will take a long time, and maybe because all sphere, even in all spheres of our lives, we do find gender distinctions and gender inequities. And here, for instance, in the case of people with disability, it becomes even more stark. So often we say that one must be concerned about the last person who is left out when we are talking of inclusion. But when it comes to women, it is the last woman who matters, and the last woman is often the one who is challenged, physically, and all her other identities are kind of contributing to her. And to her being the last person. So her inclusion is an important part of any human rights movement. It's an important part of any feminist movement. It's an important part of our organizing and reordering a world which is based on justice and equality. And there are, of course, many challenges. There are many, many difficulties that are there. And as I have mentioned earlier, the history of patriarchy is as old as agriculture itself. But each of us can contribute, because the thing is, we are not in a position that that was there earlier. From the generations beyond us, we have moved ahead. There are so many of us women who are sharing a platform here and speaking to each other. We know in our educational institutions, especially I teach in a women's college, and when all these women come into the college, I know that when we just trace back just 2 generations back, we know that many women had not even entered the universities. But here there are these young, bright, sparkling women who are interested in the world, wanting to contribute. So that changes, of course, has happened, and this is also an opportunity for us to as women to also contribute to understanding the society and making a difference to that. And as educators, I think we are also a little privileged, because we are constantly interacting with young people, and there is a possibility for us to create an understanding of the world which is based on equality or justice. And here, I would like to actually point to the there is this friend of mine who is a professor, and she suffers from she's challenged, rather not suffers, but she's challenged by multiple disabilities, what she said, she's told me something many years ago when I used to be a therapist before I became an academic, and she used to tell me that all of us are temporarily able, huh? And the thing is, we imagine a world of ability which is kind of permanent, which is and most of our and especially for instance when we show a lack of concern or a lack of empathy, often it is with the belief that this ability that one is so arrogant about is something which is permanent. But we know that ability is something which is transient. And it changes with time. It changes with with our physical state. A small illness, an accident, uh, some situations where our the way we function can be challenged. And the thing is, but it does not mean that we are not what we are. We do not have we do not have the capacities to contribute. Those challenges that we face at a particular point of time may be an obstacle, but those obstacles can be removed with the cooperation and support of people. So if we keep this in mind, that all of us are temporarily able, and we also cultivate this idea of that everybody of us is temporarily able, what we are actually creating is a world which is more empathetic, caring, and concerned, and listening to each other. And by doing that, what we are actually doing is creating a world of cooperation, and thereby including everybody who's left out. For instance, if suppose I start speaking in, say, a language which is not familiar to all of you, so the thing is, I may but the thing is, or also it is possible that I enter this virtual class, virtual platform, and all of you are speaking in a language that I am not familiar with. Say all of you were speaking in I suppose if I only spoke Greek, and then I come in here and everybody's speaking in English, and I would wonder, what is happening. And so the thing is, my disability at this moment is a temporary phenomenon. And the thing is, this disability can be changed if we are willing to accommodate, willing to create an atmosphere where we can hear each other. And if we bring up young people, we bring up teachers, we bring up students, we create a world where this concern for empathy, for listening, for care and concern is extended, where we know that all of us can be challenged at one point of time. With this awareness, what we are actually doing is we are creating a world which is more cooperative, which is willing to hold hands, which is willing to extend support to each other, so that everybody is included. When often we talk, so this part of a structural change of inclusion comes, for instance, all the changes that we have to make to include people, the last woman in the line, so to include that person, it is necessary for the structural changes to happen. We have to also have a change in the kind of values, and the feminist values are actually a very strong base to start creating a world of cooperation. And I think this respect and this inclusion will also happen if we are aware of the various diversities that exist. For instance, what is disability? It is a disability is something that's socially structured, but that disability could become an ability. It could become a diversity. It could, if you look at it as a diversity of somebody's, different kinds of ability to contribute, then what we're doing is that person will become a part of our group, and it will not be an unnatural inclusion. It will be a respectful, loving, concerned inclusion. And I think as educators, this love for diversity, this love for inclusion, this love for care, concern, empathy is an important part of making inclusion possible for the last woman in the line. Thank you. Yeah, and greetings to all of you once again. As a woman who was physically challenged, Rosa Luxemburg, she was a philosopher, educator, she was an economist. She said, she always used to say something in her writings. I've only read, she died in the early part of the 20th century, but she had disability, but she did everything possible to become part of the movements of her time, to become a thinker, to write, a philosopher. And she used to say, despite everything, despite everything. So I think despite all the challenges that exist, a powerful greetings to all of you, a powerful International Women's Day to all of you.
That was really wonderful. I'm really, touched by despite everything, the words that you spoke right now. So we all should bear this in mind, that whatever may come, despite everything. We have to continue. And I mean, woman is never, I mean, disabled. She should not consider physical challenges and all these things. I mean, don't play as much as big as, I mean, the forces or the troubles, hurdles imposed by different social groups or societies or the people around us. But then we have to continue our journey despite everything. That should be borne in mind by everyone, I think. That was wonderful.
Thank you, Dr. Radhika, for your insight. And I do agree that value-based education and the reorganization of the word is a need of the hour. Thank you once again. Now, please give a warm welcome to our next distinguished speaker, Professor Anup Kumar Srivastava, Director, YCET, Jammu. So I welcome you, sir, on the board.
Thank you, madam. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, thank you, madam. Honorable Chief Guest of today's function, Dr. Suman Keshri, Dr. Chandrakant Gadia, Dr. Radhika Menon, Dr. Pragya Khanna, Dr. Tania Gupta, Ms. Shibia Hanglu, Engineer Vidhi Singh Jamwal, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. A very, very good afternoon to all of you. First of all, I would like to congratulate all women on today's International Women's Day 2021. A very, very happy International Women's Day. International Women's Day is being celebrated across the globe on March 8 every year. And this day is very special for women to acknowledge their existence and celebrate womanhood. A day when women's step towards breaking the glass ceiling to prove herself as at par with the other sex is recognized. This year's International Women's Day on March 8, 21, the theme that has been chosen as Choose to Challenge. Choose to challenge, make choice to change, challenge to encourage successfully, to create an inclusive world and remove gender bias and inequality. Every woman must first make a beginning somewhere. As I can see, that 76% of people with disabilities are lonely, and it has been norm to exclude people with disabilities from workplaces, social media, etc. And now this is the time to change. It has been said about, that God resides at the place where women are respected. In fact, today's my address is not for the women, rather it is more to the men. What exactly I find that, in our society, particularly the men, or you can say as the male, sex people, they do not have the kind of the regards, respect for the women as in fact we should be having. And I would take the example of our house, first of all. Like in our house, we have got our mother, we have got the grandmother, we have got the daughter, we have got the wife, we have got the sisters. And we have to see that how much, in fact, we do give respect to our mother and sister, wife, and our daughter. So this has to be practiced, or this has to be understood first from our home. And we have to see that, and a person, in fact, will never be a successful person until and unless he or she does not have respect for his or her mother, or daughter, or sister, or, like a wife. So if we start having a respect and, helping them, so this is going to send a very positive signal to our workplace. Second, we have to see that where we are working, in fact, there are many people, opposite sex who are working, and how much we give respect, how much we are, biased free kind of the things, and how much we are giving, like helping rather to the women. So these are the things which we have to see at our workplace. And then naturally we'll have to see our society, that in the society definitely this will get extended, and in the society it is the responsibility or the duty, I would say, of each and every individual to have a respect for, like the women. Because the root cause, I mean, I'm not going to list down the kind of the problems the women are facing in our society, but let me tell you one thing, that the root cause of all the problems are basically due to the respect, due to the regards, or due to our feeling, with respect to the women. And if we change our mindset, if we change our thinking about the women, I think most of the problems will automatically will get solved. I can see that the government is also taking a lot of the initiatives. They are making the policies to encourage the women to, but let me tell you that women are in no way less than the men. That is the one thing which we have to understand. And earlier there was a time when the mentality of the male was that they were considering the female as with the inferior kind of the things. So this is the mindset which has to be changed in all the men, and they have to consider the women as equal to them. And I mean, it's not that, like it has been proved that women, wherever they are working, whether they are working at home or they are working at the offices or they are working anywhere, in fact, in the world, I would say that women are performing much better than men. But it is the psychology of the men that they are not able to digest, they are not able to understand, they are not able to accept the fact. And that is why they always consider them inferior. And another thing is, so my, point of view is, particularly to the men, is that please change the mindset about the opposite sex. And once the people change the mindset, many of our problems in the society will be solved, and we will have a very, a respectful and very cordial society, and will not be having any, problem regarding women. Of course, this is a very, a great day for the women, and I wish all the best, and just pray God that she should be doing well as they have been doing in the past. And of our country, of course, is, such that the many great ladies have been born, and they have proved themselves. So we must, help them to work in the right direction, and to reach to their goals. So with this, I thank the organizers to giving me an opportunity to speak on a very special Women's Day, and thank you very much. A very, very happy Women's Day to everyone. Thank you all.
Your wishes and words of wisdom. Thank you once again. Now, every International Women's Day, we try to reflect on women who somehow inspired us. Sometimes they are famous, other times historical figures. So today we are having one panelist, Shri J.K. Rana ji, President, Global Helping Hand, who will put his views on Great Women Sent. So I welcome you, sir, on the board. Over to you, sir.
Namaskar. All the best. Very Women's Day, happy Women's Day to all the panelists, all speakers, whosoever spoke. This is really wonderful. Having seen this pandemic made us to learn one thing, at least consolidate on a platform without going out, at least reach majority of people. Women's Day, to my knowledge, would not be celebrated like this. I've never seen being celebrated like this. They would be arranging a podium somewhere and starting in there. This is really wonderful. ये माता का ही करिश्मा है जिनके लिए मैं थोड़ा बहुत बोलूँगा माता श्री रूप भवानी के लिए। तो welcome you all. It's my privilege to welcome you and bless you as well, and pass on blessings to Mata Shri Rup Bhavani upon you all who did speak, who did not get the time to speak, and all wonderful people and wonderful women. Because of women, we are there. Had you not been there, we would not have been there. So I'll just read one shloka from Mata Shri Rup Bhavani, a Bij mantra. Bij mantra says, Avirbhuta Janak Tapasa Shri Sharika Sarupa Dautam Vitva Sakala Jagato Yagata Sit Samaksham Bhaktana Cha Pravar Sukhudama Gatanam Samipe Vande Nityam Vikasit Mukhi Rupanamni Bhavani. Bhavani said, Bhavani did have an adamant. She did come to this universe on tapasya of her father, come Guru, Sri Pandit Madhav Juda. She did come here. She did take birth in the year 1621, which is 1677 Vikramiti Tithi. That time was the period when we were just struggling for our existence. Hindus were struggling for existence because all tortures, pressures for conversion done by Pathans was being done. It's when Mata did come here, plus women were tortured. You know, every time. I'm a Kashmiri Pandit, I have displaced from Kashmiri. You know the tortures our sisters, our daughters, they suffered when they were thrown out of Kashmir. They were displaced within their own country. So this Mata did take birth on this planet at a time when women were most sufferers. Men were sufferers, but women were more sufferers. उनका उद्धार करने के लिए उनका जन्म हुआ, वो इस पृथ्वी पे आई. She was sent as a messenger. Messenger का she was incarnate, माता incarnation. She was herself. माता के सामने उनके फादर ने तपस्या की थी. पेनेंस बहुत तपस्या की थी, घोर तपस्या की थी. Somebody having gone to Srinagar, Hari Parvat is a temple, Pradhamana Pitha is a deity there. He would go daily, early hours of morning, then every day he would go. One day Mata appeared. She said, what do you want, Madhavju? Madhavju said, I don't want anything. She said, I'll give you'll be emperor somewhere, I'll give you money, wealth. He said, no, I want you as my daughter. So she did come. She said, Tathasto. She did come as daughter of Madhavjudar. So she did come at a time when tortures were happening, when conversion was happening. Pathans had specifically, there's a huge mention, literate personalities are there in your panel. Ali Mardan Khan and this one Muslim messenger was sent for conversion. They said, in case you are able to convince Rupa Bhavani, then conversion will be there. She fought with both of them. She appeared, gave her darshans, conveyed them when women, मुसलमानों के लिए भी उन्होंने बताया, when women are there, तभी सब कुछ हो सकता है. Worshipping से better ये है, women की worshipping करो. So they got convinced. They did not resort to any conversion. So my viewpoint is, अभी तो सभी पैनलिस्ट ने बताया, I don't remember, एक पैनलिस्ट ने बताया था, डॉक्टर थी, उन्होंने बताया अपाहज से हम बुद्धि से हैं. Women are not अपाहज. और जो कोई भी women के लिए, मैं स्त्री शक्ति के लिए बता रहा हूँ, ये अपाहज नहीं है. अपाहज हमारी सोच है. We have to widen this vision. We have to come out of this vision. In present day world, जैसे Miss Hanglo, she cracked, she is a topper. Dr. Chandrakanta Griali अपने टाइम पे दिग्गज रही है. She was advisor to governor of Tamil Nadu. She was in Tamil Nadu. So all of you are well placed. All of you are doing a great job. So important ये है, जब तक मैं human being man, जब तक हम अपनी सोच चेंज नहीं करेंगे, तब तक हम सक्सीड नहीं हो पाएंगे. We have to succeed in our mission in case we change our vision. Change vision करनी है. मेरे fellow पुरुष लोग सोच रहे होंगे, he is old, speaking high, but important. इसके बगैर कोई चारा नहीं है. We have to reconcile to the situation. Women, girls are excelling. We are women, girls are better placed than men. जिस एरिया में नॉर्मली हमें पेटेंट था नहीं, सिर्फ ओनली पुरुष जा सकता है, वुमेन आर गोइंग. इंटरनेशनल अथॉरिटी में वुमेन है, हमारे कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंट्स वुमेन हैं, आपके यूनिवर्सिटीज में चांसलर्स वुमेन हैं. सो वुमेन, आप धनी हो कि आप इस यूनि में आए हो वुमेन. सो वी हैव टू डू ऑल एफर्ट्स टू रीच द सोसाइटी, persuade the society, tell them नहीं, women are must. और women के कारण, आपके कारण ही सब कुछ होता है. जो क्षमता आप में है, जो बर्दाश्त करने की कुव्वत आप में है, पेशेंस, टॉलरेंस, बियरेंस, ये सब में नहीं हो सकता है. ये मनुष्यों में नहीं हो सकता. One thing, one conclude, it's a big, in case I discuss Mata Shri Rubhavani, it possibly takes a full age. But I was asked to convey on that. But I'll close on one Guru mantra of Mata Shri Rubhavani. Mata Shri Rubhavani would say, my Guru is Lalishwari, and my Param Guru is Lalishwari. Guru is my father. I'll just read one this verse, one shabda from her. That is Om Guru Antar Tat Nirmalam Shuddham Atyant Vidyadaram Lal Nam Lal Paramaguram Shumadavnaham Param Ram Soham. Say Guruji, आप मेरे पिताजी हो, लेकिन मेरी परम गुरु माता ललीश्वरी है. Thank you very much. I could not speak more. I have a lot to convey. Thank you all panelists. On behalf of Global Helping Hand, we are really proud to be associated with it. प्रज्ञा जी हैं, पूजा जी हैं, कितनों के नाम ले लूं, मेरी बुजुर्ग का ध्यान रखें कि यादाश्त कम रहती है. तो God bless you all. Mata Shri bless you all. She be with you in all your endeavors. We expect in future also we'll be staying in touch with you, arranging such programs. Thank you so much. Best of luck. God bless you.
Thank you, sir, for your wishes and appreciation. Thank you, sir. Now we are having Chandra Kanta ma'am on our board. So I welcome you, ma'am, and I would like to invite to share your views on the topic.
What is the topic, ma'am, today? Because I didn't hear from the beginning what all you have covered.
Ma'am, we are discussing on International Women's Day, and the topic is women inclusive. Women inclusive.
Women inclusive. No, what I want to know, the speakers before, what have they spoken? So I don't want to repeat that. If you can give me briefly what has been spoken already.
And there were so many topics. Some spoke on gender equality and history of International Women's Day, religious and spiritual features, disability, and divorced parents and their children. So these were a few topics.
Actually, ma'am, the theme revolves around the plight of disabled women, where they are ignored by the society more than women in general.
But we talk about disability. So good, that gives us clear picture. So I have been working in government. I have been working with disabled women for a long time, and made a lot of different efforts and initiatives. And I will share with you one which is being appreciated around the globe. I am a founder trustee of the charity of Equitas Bank. And when we started this, it started as a microfinance company to give small loans to the women who wanted to do livelihood, have small micro businesses like street vendors and, the women stitching clothes or selling ready-made clothes or selling vegetables or flowers or anything. So we started like that, but we thought, there are so many of them are disabled. And no bank is even allowing to open a bank account for a disabled person, leave alone to give a loan for livelihood. First of all, they have no trust them that they can do anything. So I persuaded Equitas Bank that we should start giving loan to disabled women also, just same as other women. Initially, they said, we'll give them discount, we'll give them less interest rate, we will, give them favors. I said, no need to do any favors. Treat them like anybody else. And let them be treated like that, same interest rate, something, but just give them and handhold them, train them also in whatever inputs we are giving to other women, because they would like to be like anybody else. They don't want to be treated differently. So today, more than 70,000 women have got loan from Equitas Bank who are doing micro enterprises. And you will be surprised to say that 8,000 of them are blind, fully blind. Now, blind women setting up businesses and running a home, isn't it wonderful, supporting their normal families? Now, these disabled women are supporting their normal families by making a living, by adding to the financial resources of the family kitty. So it is possible. Nobody believed that these blind women can set up businesses, and you know, we did in such a way that we took the help of other women. When there's a women's group who is beneficiary, who is taking the loans and setting up small businesses, we told them to look around in their area, see if there is a disabled woman who also wants to do something, who is capable of doing something, who has some idea, who will be able to do, who will be supported by her family, who will be supported by the group, who has got some vision. And they themselves have identified these women and included them in their group. I wanted them to join normal group, because if they join normal group, they will have a support system of normal people. And difficult to come and go, become part of their own locality women's group, then they will get entire support from the local women and hand-holding. So we went on that process. We wanted to mainstream the disability into the normal women's groups. And I told you successfully we have done. We won at least 100 international awards for this, because we call it inclusive credit. Nobody has been giving inclusive credit. As I said, the bankers are very conservative. They're commercial. They return their loans and they don't want to take risks. But because of the presence of people like us, who have been able to persuade the Equitas Bank, we have achieved this. So this is one thing I will tell you what we have done for disabled women, and they are doing very good, and some of them are doing wonderful work. The second category of disabled women, which we are looking at now, last 2 years we have been working with them, is trans women, transgender. You know, the transgender, you know, have been most marginalized in India, right from the British period. They were not marginalized during the Muslim period, during the Mughal period, during the Lodhis, and you know what you have. In Islamic culture, they had a place. Even in Hindu culture, they had a place. They could make a livelihood by blessing the children and dancing on blessing the newly married couples and so on. And if you know, they were given this blessing by Rama himself. You know, we all have had childbirths and all these people coming and singing and dancing and blessing the child. This capacity to bless came to them divinely from Lord Rama himself. I've just completed a book about trans women. And so I went through a lot of history and learned about them. And what I found that Ramayana, there's a mention that when Rama was going on Vanvas, all the Ayodhya people came to say goodbye to him till the border of Ayodhya. At the border of Ayodhya, Rama told them, all men and women, please go home. But he didn't mention transgender, the third gender. So they all stayed there waiting for him for 14 years. When he came back after 14 years, he saw them still sitting on the border of Ayodhya, waiting for him. And he was very moved. And then he gave them a blessing that eternally you will be able to bless newly born people. You will be able to bless newly weds. You will be able to bless new ventures. And that is why these people, blessings used to be sought. So they became marginalized only in British period, because British hated them. And they had an anti-buggery law in Britain of 15th century. They imposed that law in India after they took over the Indian government. The Queen Victoria became Empress of India. And then they made them marginalized. They declared them ex-criminal. They said they cannot perform. They should not dance. They should not wear women's clothing. And they have to report to police station and show themselves up. All kinds of disabilities were put on them. And they went into hiding. And then after the independence of India, we still did not remove those rules. Those laws are there. Now, recently, Supreme Court in 2016 removed some of these laws, and that is against the gay people and against the transgender, and all those laws were struck down by Supreme Court. And though they have taken they're no more criminals, they're no more criminalized, but still they have a long way to go in moving to a proper occupation, proper educational and training facilities, because most of them are rejected by their families also. If a boy thought he was a girl, actually in his heart, there's a woman trapped inside and wanted to behave like a woman or have a sex change operation, the families rejected them. So now it is getting more and more acceptance. So we have been working with these trans women. We call them trans women. The woman trapped in a male body and wanting to again achieve womanhood. And with great difficulty, effort, they go through the sex reassignment surgery, they go through the hormone therapies, and then they assume the form of a woman. And then still we don't treat them like a woman. It's not fair. So Equitas started lending money to these people 2 years ago. And the process is slow because still they are shy to come, and community is shy to get them in, but our women are mopping them up wherever they are, inviting them to join the group, start small businesses so that they can have alternate lifestyle. So far, they've been only begging on the roads and all that, going to shops or on the streets or on the signals, or working as commercial sex workers. Now, we should have a third option for them. They should not be condemned to live that life because nobody employs them. Who is responsible for it? So now we are helping them to set up micro enterprises. We have given 200 loans so far. And now we have taken the very, very poor people among them, who we have now started a program which we are going to launch shortly in Chennai, along with DAV Foundation, Arya Samaj Foundation, who are going to fund part of it. We are going to give them interest-free loans. There won't be any interest also. So this will be a special for them, and it will be subsidized. They don't have to pay back entire loan, 30% of less they can repay, and there will be no interest. So this we're going to launch next week. So, so these are the type of disabilities which people face, being sexually disabled, having different sexual orientation, being physically disabled, being blind, being mentally disabled. So all these people have to be looked after. Now there's issues of mentally disabled women, because they don't understand their rights are taken away, their properties are taken away. Somebody writes of the property, the family members, and there's all kinds of things happen to them. So that's another thing, the rights issues of mentally ill women. And they get, even if there's a slight depression and all, many people throw them out of the house. They're abandoned. They're saying they're mad, they're pagal. Even there's a mild thing which can be treated with a medication and all that, and they can remain in the house. They're sent off to their parents' home or into asylum and things like that. All that is happening. So there are rights of mentally ill women. The early detection and early treatment can help these women who are suffering from some kind of either neurosis or psychosis. Both are treatable these days, and people can be kept in the families. They can still do their normal responsibility. They can retain their jobs if we help them at right time. So I have to say this about disability. I'm also involved with the Schizophrenia Foundation of India. I'm one of the founders. We set it up about 30 years ago. Its acronym is SCARF. SCARF also covers the head. So SCARF we started 30 years ago, and it is helping many women. We do a lot of seminars. We make movies on the issues. And please look up SCARF website on the Google. I would like to say another thing, since a lot of you are in Jammu. My book on Kashmiri Pandits is being released on Jammu on 21st of March. And press club at 3 o'clock. I invite personally all of you to be there, and we give me great pleasure. And another thing is, I'm going to be there for a few days in Jammu after that. So if anybody wants a book discussion in a college or in any other forum, I'll be available.
That's so nice to hear, ma'am. And first of all, many congratulations on the release of your book. And we would like to invite you over. If you have time, I would like to have you at the college. That
I
would
would love to come to a college. How far is it?
It is slightly far off. Have you heard of Patnitop?
I know. I wish to go
Before
and have
Patnitop,
paneer
ma'am.
there.
Chinani is, I mean, but the road is quite dilapidated and it takes, I mean, quite a time reaching there from Jammu. Almost it takes me 2.5 hours from Jammu to reach Chinani. Yeah, but I would be taking you in my car and bringing you back. I mean, don't worry for
Oh,
anything.
every day? Do you go to college every day? No, you please take me. I love to go there and I love to
I
eat
would be taking
paneer.
myself, or else we would.
I would like to speak something. I would like to say something.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay. चंद्रकांता जी, थैंक यू सो मच. आपने हमें सचमुच में वो बातें दी जिसको हम सुनने के लिए मेरे कान तरस रहे थे, क्योंकि अक्सर ही ऐसा होता है. ये वैसे मुझे अंत में बोलना है, चेयर कर रही हूँ, लेकिन मैं अपने आप को रोक नहीं पाई. चंद्रकांता जी, कैन यू अंडरस्टैंड हिंदी?
अरे बिल्कुल, क्या हिंदी, कश्मीरी, डोगरी सब जानते हैं, कुछ भी बोलिए.
बहुत बढ़िया.
तमिल.
तो मुझे इतना अच्छा लगा क्योंकि आपका जो इक्विटस बैंक है, दैट इज रियली डूइंग सच अ वंडरफुल जॉब. आई वुड से वंडरफुल जॉब इट इज, कि आप लोग इतना काम कर रहे हैं. और ये सच, दिस इज
मैंने लिखी है,
विद द सोल, बैंक विद द सोल.
रियली आत्मा है इस बैंक में.
इस बैंक में आत्मा है. तो आप चेन्नई बेस्ड हैं?
जी जी, मैं चेन्नई बेस्ड हूँ, बट मैं आपकी आज्ञा होते ही कभी भी आ सकती हूँ, कहीं भी.
दिल्ली में हूँ मैं. आप आती रहती होंगी.
दिल्ली, आप दिल्ली में हैं क्या?
जी, मैं दिल्ली में हूँ.
हाँ, तो अब हम आएंगे ना अभी दिल्ली. अभी हो जाएंगे तो वापसी में दिल्ली आएंगे. आप कहाँ रहते हैं?
मैं दिल्ली में, यहाँ कैलाश कॉलोनी एक जगह है, लेडी श्री राम कॉलेज के पास में, वहां मैं रहती हूँ. और मैं पूजा जी से आपका नंबर लेकर के अपना उसमें एड्रेस और सब चीजें दे दूंगी.
ठीक है.
तो ये बहुत ही अच्छा रहेगा. मैं बहुत धन्यवाद करना चाहती हूँ पर्सनली इसी समय, क्योंकि मुझे लगा है कि इस समय बोलना बहुत जरूरी है. कि कई बार हम लोग बोलते हैं कि हमें ये करना चाहिए, हमें ये करना चाहिए, या समाज को ये करना चाहिए. और जरूरी यह है कि करना चाहिए की जगह हम ये कर रहे हैं या ये हम कर सकते हैं, और इसलिए हम उन्हें करना शुरू करते हैं. ये बड़ा जरूरी हो जाता है. और आप लोग जिस तरह से कर रहे हैं, और ट्रांसजेंडर्स के बारे में जो आपने एक नई मेरे लिए तो खैर इस तरह से नई नहीं है, क्योंकि मैं एक तरह हिस्ट्री और सोशियोलॉजी की भी स्टूडेंट रही हूँ. तो ये जो हमारे जो ये कॉलोनाइजेशन की जो प्रॉब्लम्स है, उसमें एक आपने बहुत सही जगह पर उंगली रखी कि many tribes, many people, many communities were termed as they are criminals.
Ex-criminal tribes. ब्रिटिश ने किया है सब.
हाँ, ब्रिटिश ने किया है. और इस तरह से हम लोगों ने बहुत सारे लोगों को जात बाहर कर दिया. या आप लोग
denotify them. They were notified as ex-criminal tribes, and our government has not denotified them.
Now they have been, but still the mindset has become. मैं अपनी बात कहूँ कि मैं जब भी मेरी गाड़ी के सामने कोई इस तरह के आते हैं, मैं ट्रांसजेंडर्स, तो मैं जरूर कुछ देती हूँ. तो हमारा ड्राइवर कहता है कि आप क्यों देती हैं? मैंने कहा नहीं, हमारा कर्तव्य है इनको देना, क्योंकि हम लोगों ने इन्हें इंक्लूड नहीं किया अपनी सोसाइटी में. यदि हमने इनको इंक्लूड किया होता तो मैं ना कहती कि मैं दूंगी. मैंने अपने ड्राइवर से कहा कि आपने कभी नहीं देखा होगा कि मैं दूसरों को देती हूँ, मैं इनको देती हूँ, क्योंकि इनको हम लोगों ने इतने एबल बॉडीड हैं, इनमें इतनी शक्ति होती है, इतने सामर्थ्य है, और हम लोगों ने इन्हें एक्सक्लूड कर दिया है. थैंक यू सो मच. हाँ जी, बताएं.
मैं एक छोटा सा कहूंगी कि ब्रिटिश, ये मुगल पीरियड में ये लोग कमांडर इन चीफ होते थे, हरम के इंचार्ज होते थे, सिक्योरिटी एंड this thing, they were confident. You'll see the, आपने वो पिक्चर देखी होगी ना रानी पद्मिनी के बारे, पद्मावत. तो उसमें जो अलाउद्दीन खिलजी का जो मेन क्लोजेस्ट कमांडर था एंड क्लोजेस्ट मैन टू हिम वाज दैट मलिक काफूर, and he was a eunuch, and he gets jealous when he fancies Padmavati. He gets jealous because he was so closest, and मरते दम तक उसने सेवा करी उसकी, and they are very loyal. And one more fact I want to tell you, the Prophet Muhammad's maqbara in Medina, but from 12th century, the guards of the maqbara are the eunuchs of Abyssinian tribe. इतना उन लोगों को इम्पोर्टेंस मिला था एक जमाने में, क्योंकि प्रॉफिट के टूम में जो खजाना था ये लोग नहीं चुराएंगे, इनकी कोई फैमिली नहीं है, इनका कोई लालच नहीं है, दे आर स्पिरिचुअल, वेयर एज अदर पीपल विल खजाना खाली कर देंगे। तो इसलिए इनको ही रखा था 12वीं शताब्दी से तुर्किश सुल्तान ने उनको मदीने का इंचार्ज बना के रखा हुआ है। तो that was the status they enjoyed, but where they have come today to begging and sex work.
Yes, begging and sex work.
I appreciate your concern, madam. I very few people think वो कहते हम डरते हैं, कौन है, क्या करेंगे. They don't understand how मजबूर they are.
How मजबूर from God's side also and from our side also.
आपको पता है, मैंने ये नया सुना कि जब कोई उनमें से कोई मरता है तो दिन में नहीं ले जाते शमशान भूमि पर, रात पे ले जाते हैं, क्योंकि you know people would not like even see them there, and that body is beaten with shoes and don't be born again in this gender.
Yes, don't be born.
जूतों से मारते हैं डेड बॉडी को. Can you imagine that? I mean, I was shocked when I doing this research, the process. I learned so many disability which they are feeling. कि ऐसा जन्म तो भगवान किसी को लाते.
थैंक यू सो मच. आप सचमुच में बहुत अच्छा, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा. प्रणाम करती हूँ मैं राधा रानी से.
सो मच, थैंक यू सो मच.
अब आप अगर मुझे डेट फिक्स कर दें, हम 23 तारीख को जा सकते हैं या 24 को जा सकते हैं आपके साथ.
मैं आपको फोन पे फिक्स अप कर दूंगी.
23, 24 और 25, क्योंकि 22 को हम जगती जाएंगे माइग्रेंट कैंप पर.
ओके मैम, मैं फोन करूंगी मैम आपको.
24-25 पे से एक दिन जा सकते हैं.
ओके मैम, दैट वुड बी वंडरफुल.
I love to go to your college.
I would love to have you there, ma'am. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Wonderful.
So much, ma'am. Thank you so much for your words. Now it is the time for open discussion. And we are having few questions in chat box. The first question is, India has the largest democracy in the world, and 48% population female goes into curfew after 6 p.m. in the evening. How we are going to become superpower and developed nation, and what steps can be taken despite of having policies, rules, and regulations? This is the harsh reality. This is a question from our student, Shubham. Yes, I request all the panelists and resource person.
I did not understand the question. What is the disability in becoming a superpower? I couldn't understand. There's a lockdown after 6 o'clock, curfew after 6 o'clock. I didn't understand.
The girls are not going out after 6 o'clock.
Oh, okay, that is the problem. This is a perennial problem. You know, what this girl says is correct, because I remember Gandhi ji, when I wrote my first book on women, I have quoted Gandhi ji there. Gandhi ji, when he started involving women into women Swatantra movement, freedom struggle, he said, "Yeah, we will not get freedom until the women also participate in the freedom struggle." And Gandhi ji invited them. He said, when 50% of population is women and 50% of a body is paralyzed, how can that body develop? So what the question raised by this young lady is totally relevant, because as long as we are paralyzed, 50% of our women are not allowed to act, allowed to do things, allowed to come forward, then India cannot develop fully. I totally agree with her. Other panelists can give their views.
Thank you, ma'am, for solving this query. Now, due to paucity of time, we are running short of time, so we are moving forward. तो नारी शक्ति शक्तिशाली समाजस्य निर्माणम करोति, इन शब्दों को चिरतार्थ करती हुई हमारी मुख्य अतिथि डॉक्टर सुमन केसरी. सर्वप्रथम मैं मैम का धन्यवाद करना चाहूंगी, जो उन्होंने अपना अमूल्य समय निकालकर हमारा निमंत्रण स्वीकार किया. धन्यवाद मैम. लेखिका, कवित्री, समाज सुधारक, शिक्षाविद, प्रशासनिक सलाहकार, प्रतिभाशाली व्यक्तित्व जिनको शब्दों में नहीं बांधा जा सकता, उनका वक्तव्य ही इसको बयां करेगा. इनके काव्य संग्रह अनेक भाषाओं में संकलित हैं. मैम हमेशा से ही जेंडर और समाज से संबंधित मुद्दों को केंद्रित करती आई हैं. मैम ने अपना शोध कार्य जवाहरलाल नेहरू विश्वविद्यालय से किया और MBA की डिग्री यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ वेस्टर्न ऑस्ट्रेलिया पर्थ से ली है। मैम कई वर्षों तक इन्होंने नेशनल डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट अथॉरिटी में डायरेक्टर के पद पर कार्यरत रही। इनके कार्यों की सूची लंबी है। इनके लेखों और कविताओं में इनके व्यक्तित्व की झलक स्पष्ट होती है। तो जैसा मैंने कहा, इनको शब्दों में नहीं बांधा जा सकता, ऐसी उनकी व्याख्या नहीं की जा सकती। कुछ विरले ही ऐसे प्रतिभाशाली व्यक्ति होते हैं जो अवलोकित होते हैं। अतः मैं मैम को इस मंच पर सादर आमंत्रित करना चाहूंगी। तो सुमन केसरी मैम। मैम आपका माइक म्यूट है।
हाँ, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया पूजा जी। सबसे पहले तो मैं आर्मी इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ एजुकेटर ग्रेटर नोएडा, जमवाल ग्रुप ऑफ एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट जम्मू और ग्लोबल हेल्पिंग हैंड्स, इनको सबसे पहले शुक्रिया अदा करती हूँ कि उन्होंने मुझे इस काबिल समझा कि मुझे यहाँ बुलाया। और आप ये मत कीजिए अवलोकित होते हैं, बहुत साधारण स्त्री हूं मैं, बेहद साधारण, उसी तरह से जैसे हवा बहती है, पानी बहता है, आग में अग्नि गर्म होता है। दिस इज कॉल्ड द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ वृत्त, नेचर। तो मैं उसी नेचर, यानी जो जैसा कि अभी कुछ देर पहले ग्लोबल हेल्पिंग हैंड के सज्जन कह रहे थे कि हम स्त्रियों में ये दिस इज वेरी नेचुरल, यू नो, बहुत ही प्राकृतिक रूप से कुछ चीजें मिली हुई हैं। और अभी मैंने जब बात कर रही थी और मैं चंद्रकांता जी की बात सुन रही थी, तो मुझे लगता है कि यहाँ पर इतने सारे गिफ्टेड और इतने सारे प्रतिभाशाली लोगों की बातें मैंने सुनी कि एक घंटे के भीतर जैसे कि एक पूरी की पूरी फिल्म देख ली। मैं आपसे जरूर रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी कि अपनी जरा फोन म्यूट कर लीजिए, बहुत देर से डिस्टर्बेंस हो रही है। तो क्या है चैलेंजेस हमारे सामने? चूज टू चैलेंज। क्या बात है, बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस हैं हमारे सामने। और जब हम लोग बात सुन रहे थे, चाहे वो बात संगीता जी की हो जो कि हिस्ट्री के बारे में बता रहे थे, और हमारी लड़ाई शुरू हुई थी कि हम वोट दें, हमारी लड़ाई शुरू हुई थी कि हम लोगों को जब वेतन मिलता है, जब हम लोगों को सैलरी मिलती है तो उसमें कुछ बेहतर सैलरीज मिले। यहाँ से हमारी लड़ाई शुरू हुई थी कि हम लोग वर्कफोर्स की तरह इज्जत के साथ और हमारे वर्क को, हमारे काम को इवेल्युएट प्रॉपर्ली किया जाए और हमें मनुष्य, उस तरह का मनुष्य माना जाए जो कि वोट भी देगा। यहाँ से चलते चलते आज हम यहाँ तक आ गए हैं कि हमारी वो बहनें जो किसी भी तरह से, मतलब एक चैलेंजिंग, अलग ढंग की चैलेंजिंग जिंदगी जी रही हैं, उनको हम लोग देखें या उनके बारे में सोचें। मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा, मैं बहुत धन्यवाद करती हूँ, क्योंकि जब भी हम एम्पावरमेंट की बात करते हैं और इंक्लूसिव सोसाइटी की बात करते हैं तो नॉर्मली वी फॉरगेट अबाउट द वुमेन हु आर सफरिंग फ्रॉम one or the other kind of problems, be it mental, be it physical, or be it whatever. तो ये बात अमूमन हमारे जहन से निकल जाती है और मैं बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूं कि हम लोग इस मुद्दे पर बात कर रहे हैं। और जैसे कहा गया कि टेम्पररीली डिसेबिलिटी सब में होती है, कुछ लोगों में वो लंबे समय तक चलती है, कुछ लोगों में आजीवन डिसेबिलिटीज चलती हैं, कुछ लोगों में क्षण क्षण में आती है। जब बात कर रही थी हमारी, उनका नाम क्या था, राधिका मेनन, जब बात कर रही थी तो मुझे अपने जीवन की एक घटना याद आई। मैं LSR से पढ़ी हूँ और हमारी एक टीचर थी, बहुत ही, मिसेस शर्मा, और मेरी एक क्लास फेलो थी जो कि तुतलाती थी, बोलती थी लेकिन तुतला देती थी बीच में, इसलिए वो बोलती ही नहीं थी, क्लास में बिल्कुल चुप रहती थी और अपनी सहेलियों के साथ बोलती थी। हम लोग फिलोलॉजी की क्लास कर रहे थे और उन्होंने पूछा कि उर्मिल आप बोलिए, तो वो बोली नहीं, रोने लगी। तो उन्होंने कहा क्या बात हो गई? तो साथ की किसी लड़की ने कहा कि मैम ये बोलती नहीं है क्योंकि ये ठीक से बोल नहीं पाती, क्लियर नहीं बोल पाती। मैडम उसके सामने देखती रही उसकी आंखों में और उन्होंने कहा तुम ठीक से नहीं बोल पाती, बोलती हो ना, बोलो तभी तुम ठीक से बोल पाओगी। कभी देखा है कई लोग बिल्कुल नहीं बोल पाते, कई लोग बिल्कुल नहीं सुन पाते, कई लोग बिल्कुल नहीं चल पाते। तुम तो बस इसीलिए चुप हो गई हो कि तुम जरा सा ठीक से नहीं बोल पाती। ठीक से हम बोल सकते हैं क्या? कई बार हम लड़खड़ा जाते हैं, कई बार हमें सही शब्द नहीं सूझते, कई बार हम गलत बोल देते हैं। ठीक से तो हम भी नहीं बोल पाते। उस समय I was just 16. It was one day, after it was 16th of July, and my date of birth is 15th of July. So it was 16th of July when ma'am was saying that. And उस उम्र में जब मैंने ये बात सुनी तो मैंने गांठ बांध लिया। एक, कभी भी किसी को बिचारी नहीं कहना। बिचारी कहते ही हम जैसे ढकेल करके किसी को कोने में डाल देते हैं। और कभी भी किसी भी डिसेबल, किसी भी तरह की कोई गलती करे उस पर हंसना नहीं। ये दो बातें मैंने उसी दिन गांठ बांध करके रख ली, और ये मेरा सौभाग्य है कि आज तक मैं इस बात को भूली नहीं। श्रीवास्तव जी ने ठीक कहा, बहुत सही कहा श्रीवास्तव जी ने, कि हमें अपना माइंडसेट चेंज करना है। घर में हमारी माँ है, डू वी टेक हर फॉर ग्रांटेड? क्या उसको तकलीफ होती रहती है तभी भी हम बिल्कुल बेखबर उससे बहुत सारी चीजें एक्सपेक्ट करते रहते हैं, और अगर वो ना करे तो हम नाराज होते हैं या डांट देते हैं। जब हम बड़े हो जाते हैं चिल्लाने लगते हैं उस पर कि तुमसे ये भी नहीं हुआ। डू वी रेस्पेक्ट द वाइव्स, जिनको हम घर में, अगर वो लोग होम मेकर हो तो हम कहते हैं कि तुम क्या करती रही सारा दिन, कुछ भी तो नहीं करती तो, बिकॉज दैट पर्सन इज नॉट अर्निंग इन टर्म्स ऑफ मनी। सचमुच में द चेंज वुड ऑलवेज स्टार्ट फ्रॉम फर्स्ट फ्रॉम यू योरसेल्फ, फ्रॉम यू, एंड सेकंड फ्रॉम योर फैमिली। अगर आप हंस रहे हैं तो आप अपने बच्चे को या अपने हस्बैंड को नहीं बोल सकते कि हंसी मत। अगर आप किसी को दुत्कार रहे हैं और ये कह रहे हैं कि ये तो ब्लाइंड है, इसको हम इस पर कैसे विश्वास कर सकते हैं, तो इसका मतलब ये है कि आप एक बीज बो रहे हैं, एक अविश्वास का एक बीज बो रहे हैं। क्या सचमुच में हम लोगों को अविश्वास का या अनास्था का या इस चीज का कि ये व्यक्ति ये काम नहीं कर सकता, इनकैपेबल है वो, क्या इसकी बीज बोना है? आई लव्ड हियरिंग टू Hanglu, Shivya Hanglu. The idea of empowerment has literally changed. It has really changed over the times. And we have to keep in our minds the changes that we see, and we have to note them down, and we have to take it further. बहुत ही सुंदर एजुकेशन मैंने अपने घर में इन द सेंस मैंने अपने जो वाइडर हमारी फैमिली है उसमें देखा है कि इतनी इंटेलिजेंट लड़कियों को सिर्फ इसलिए आई बिलोंग टू अ बनिया फैमिली एंड बनियाज आर एंड ट्रेडिशनल बिल्कुल बिजनेस फैमिली, आई बिलोंग टू दैट। तो ट्रेडिशनल बिजनेस फैमिलीज में अब इस के बाद मतलब थोड़ी सी चेंजेस अब मैं देख रही हूँ कि हमारी जो पोतियां हैं, मेरी जो पोतियां हैं माने मेरे जेठ वगैरह की बेटियां, बच्चों के बच्चे, वो इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ रही हैं। लेकिन जो हमारी खुद की भतीजी थी, शी वाज सच अ फाइन स्विमर, और उसको अच्छी उसकी स्विम बहुत अच्छा करती थी। 3 साल की उम्र से हम उसको स्विमिंग सिखा रहे थे, एंड बाय द टाइम शी वाज 8 शी वाज सच फाइन ब्यूटी, और इतना अच्छा स्विम करती थी, और उसकी फिगर वगैरह भी उस तरह से बनने लगी, एंड उसको हटा दिया गया सिर्फ इसलिए कि अब उसकी टांगे दिखती हैं, अब उसकी ये दिखती हैं, उसकी वो दिखती हैं, और उसकी मैरिज 17 इयर्स में उसकी मैरिज तय कर दी गई। तो मैंने सिर्फ एक बात कही, मैंने कहा भैया अगर आपने इसकी शादी नॉट 18, आपने इसकी शादी 21 से पहले की, तो आप कुछ भी कहते रहेगा, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू अटेंड इट। नाउ माय हस्बैंड वुड कम एंड अटेंड दैट मैरिज। आप कुछ भी हमें कहते रहिए, क्योंकि आई डोंट वांट दैट गर्ल टू बी मैरिड बिफोर 21. उसको स्विम करने का वो नहीं मिला, मौका नहीं मिला, बट एटलीस्ट शी वॉज मैरिड ऑफ व्हेन शी वॉज 21 प्लस. तो घर से ही ये सब चीजें शुरू होती है. और एक और बात जो मैं आप लोगों को कहूंगी, और ये हमें पता भी नहीं चलता है, this has all become kind of, you know, this is part of our language we speak. अंधा हो गया तू, अंधी हो गई है तू, तेरे को दिख नहीं रहा. अरे तेरे को तू देख करके चल एक बात है, तुझे ये दिखा नहीं एक बात है. The nuances of language that we use normally in our families, वो हमारे पूरे उसको बताते हैं कि how do we see people and how do we really think of them. So बोलते समय कई बार सोचना पड़ता है, and you know you can only do that when you are observing yourself. जैसे मैं आपको सच बताऊं, this is a kind of a practice that I have done over the years, and especially in last 2-3 years, just when I say that now this is a kind of a sadhana, and it is a kind of a सहज sadhana for me, कि मैं अपने मन में भी हिंसा की बात ना लाऊं, मैं अपने मन में भी उसको कम ना आंकूं. be it caste, be it creed, be it religion, be it gender, be it language, whatever reason, कुछ भी हो. I keep watching myself कि मैंने तो ये नहीं कहा कि ये तो होते ही ऐसे हैं, ये तो होते ही ऐसे हैं, because it is a kind of a, जैसे कि हमने एक stereotype बना लिया and just enforcing that stereotype. Actually हमारी जो language है, हमारी जो the thinking comes from language. और मैं ये बात कहूंगी, मैं टाइम देख लूं, इस 119, 1 मिनट और. खुद को अपनी लैंग्वेज को हमें निरंतर देखना पड़ेगा. लेकिन मैं एक यहाँ पर being a person from literature, I write poems and I write stories, etc., and criticism also. I tell a story to every Sunday. It's a live session. जो स्टोरीज में कई बारी हम गालियां देखते हैं, कई बारी हम दूसरी चीजें देखते हैं, तो हम लोगों को इतना सेंसिटिव होना चाहिए कि लेखक क्यों ये बात कह रहा है. उसको हमें ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए कि अब हम उसको काट देंगे या उसको डिलीट कर देंगे. नो, सोसाइटी बहुत वेरिड किस्म की है. लिटरेचर में क्या लिखा गया है, क्या लिखा जा रहा, आगे क्या लिखा जाएगा, इस पर हमें ध्यान देना पड़ेगा. और चूंकि मेरा इंट्रोडक्शन एक कवि की तरह करवाया गया था, अनूप जी का बहुत धन्यवाद, राधिका जी, शिव्या, चंद्रकांता जी, संगीता वर्मा, रेखा कौल, संध्या, सबका नाम मैं लेना चाहूंगी. आपका भी, आप सॉरी मैं आपका नाम भूल गई. संध्या आपका नाम है? नहीं, मे बी. सबको बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. मैं, चूंकि मुझे बताया गया कि मैं पोएट हूँ, मैं एक छोटी सी अपनी कविता पढ़ूंगी, और वो पूरी नारी शक्ति को नमन करते हुए, आप सब लोगों को थैंक यू करते हुए और आप सब लोगों को प्रणाम करते हुए. रेगिस्तान की तपती रेत में अपनी चुनरी बिछा, लोटा भर पानी और उस पर रोटियां रखकर, हथेली से आंखों को छाया देते हुए औरत ने ऐन सूरज की नाक के नीचे एक घर बना लिया. सब घर आना चाहते हैं, घर जो सुकून का हिस्सा है. ऐसा घर, ऐसा संसार, ऐसा ब्रह्मांड हम विकसित करें, इसी कामना के साथ.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मैम, बहुत सुंदर.
That is very wonderful.
Thank you.
Lovely thought. Thank you.
आपकी कविताओं में कई ऐसे मार्मिक प्रसंग मिलते हैं, तो कुछ आप ही कविता से मैं एक रख रही हूँ. लड़कियां जानती हैं, उनकी किताब के हर पन्ने पर एक ही शब्द लिखा है, असंभव. तो इस असंभव को संभव बनाने के लिए ये आज का कार्यक्रम जी. एक बार फिर से धन्यवाद.
अगर आज्ञा होगी तो मैं एक, जो बच्ची ने सवाल पूछा था कि 6 बजे के बाद घर में पढ़ना है, आई थिंक उसके बारे में मैं जरा सा कहना चाहूंगी, वन जी की आज्ञा लेके, कि लड़कियों को अपने अधिकारों के लिए खुद अपने घर पर पड़ेगा. हम लोग भी छोटे थे, हमको घर देते थे, तो हम कहते थे कि हमें क्यों मना कर रहे हो, हम ज्यादा पढ़ने में होशियार थे अपने भाइयों से, हर चीज पे गुण संपन्न थे, लेकिन हमारे पर रोक लगती थी। फिर जब मेरी बेटी हुई और मेरा बेटा जो है घर की चाबी लेके रात के 12 बजे आता था और मेरी बेटी को हम कहते थे 8 बजे आओ, तो शी स्टार्टेड प्रोटेस्टिंग. She said, "Mummy, what is this? He's younger than me, and he's got the key of the house pocket, and I have to come back. What is this?" And then me and my husband took note of that fact that we were discriminating. So I think everybody must fight. You have to fight your fight.
चंद्रकांता जी, मैं यहाँ पर एक बात कहूंगी, जिस सोसाइटी में किसी भी कारण से, whether it is political, whether it is social, whether it is whatever, rape has been we have started justifying rapes, we have started justifying other things. बहुत सोसाइटी में बहुत प्रॉब्लम है. मैं हरदम बोलती हूँ कि अगर आपका बेटा आए और कहे कि मैं ऐसा एक लड़की के साथ करके
तो इंटरेक्शन ग्रुप भी आपको मालूम नहीं है, उसका इंटरेक्शन भी
मैं समझ नहीं पाई. हेलो,
नथिंग मैम, प्लीज कंटिन्यू.
हाँ, मैं ये कहती हूँ कि हम लोगों को ये देखना पड़ेगा कि हम सोसाइटी को कैसा बना रहे हैं, और यहाँ पर बार बार अपने लड़कों को, खास तौर से लड़कों को, लड़कियों को डराने की जरूरत नहीं, लड़कों को बताने की जरूरत है कि अगर तुमने ऐसा कुछ किया, उनको डराने की जरूरत है, तो हम तुम्हें आग कर देंगे हर चीज से, हम तुम्हें बाहर कर देंगे हर चीज से, अपनी आत्मा से भी. मेरे ख्याल से सोसाइटी जब ज्यादा बेहतर है.
बहुत जरूरी है, बहुत जरूरी है.
I think our purpose here is to see what are gaps, what are opportunities, and what we can work together to improve what we do for the society. So before ending this session, now I would like to invite our dear principal, Army Institute of Education, Dr. Tanya Gupta ma'am, who is a multidimensional, enthusiastic, strong leader and a source of inspiration for all of us. Now, I would invite ma'am on board to propose vote of thanks. Over to ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Pooja ji. Good afternoon. The words ma'am has used, I think they are very, very big. I'm also an ordinary woman who's very, very enlightened today to hear the wonderful views of such wonderful ladies who are on board, starting from our very revered chief guest, Dr. Suman Kesri ji, who has given us her own experiences, her own journey as a poet, as an administrator, as a social activist, as a writer. Ma'am, we are very, very glad on behalf of the Government Degree College, Udhampur, and the Army Institute of Education, Greater Noida, Jamwal Group of Education Institutions, Jammu, and Global Helping Hands, which has been instrumental in getting this program planned today and celebrate the International Women's Day. We are very, very grateful that you have accepted and given your views on this day of importance, that is the International Women's Day. I also take the opportunity to thank Dr. Kanta ji and Dr. Radhika Menon ji, Rekha Kaul ji, Sandhya Sharma ji, Sangeeta Verma ji, Miss Shivya Hanglu ji, Miss Sangeeta Dhar, Miss Sangeeta Verma, Professor Dr. Anup Kumar Srivastav ji, and Shri J.K. Rena sir. All of you have given your wonderful insights on this International Women's Day. I am extremely grateful, and I've been intently listening to your views and what you feel about this, this whole concept of women being treated equal, being considered equal, their empowerment, their issues on disability, their issues on inclusion. I'm sure you will be very, very happy and you will agree that this theme that has been chosen for this webinar, where we have looked towards a world of inclusion, and on this International Women's Day 2021, the theme for this webinar that has been chosen, empowering and including women and girls with disabilities. I'm sure you will agree that there is no greater disability in the society than the inability to see someone or a person as more. So all the views the revered guests have, given on gender equality and empowerment of women, or women and girls who are at the end of a double discrimination because of the disabilities that they may encounter, and this places them at higher risk of gender-based violence, sexual abuse, neglect, maltreatment, and exploitation. And there are n number of statistics, like as today on International Women's Day, we are talking of various aspects of gender equality, their inclusion, their empowerment. We must also keep in mind that as per the UN reports, about 1 billion, out of the 1 billion people in the world, there are, out of the total number of people in the world, about 1 billion are experiencing some form of disability. And the average prevalence rate of disability in the female population of 18 years and older is almost 19.2%, which is compared to 12% for males, which means that it is representation of 1 in 5 women. So I will agree, and I would like to conclude in the vote of thanks that I have been asked to give. I would just like to sum up to what the views have been of all these speakers, that in order to have fuller participation of women, whether it is in terms of their access to education or healthcare, or their sexual and reproductive rights, or even giving them a place in their civic and political participation, it is very important. And as our chief guest mentioned, कि किसी लड़की को हम बेचारी ना माने, या we should not have pity, because whenever we talk, I agree with you, ma'am, that whenever we talk of women, we either talk of them as victims or survivors. We do not celebrate their achievements. So this is what I certainly have associated, ma'am, what you have said. I agree with this. And another speaker very rightly talked on the increasing divorces. I believe that one single most reason for increase in divorces today world over is marriage. It is the inability of the societies to treat women as equals, and especially in our cases where there are patriarchal inclinations, where we are not able to counter the existing social structures and treat men and women equally. We are not actually able to accept the women being empowered. So सर ने भी जो ये बात बोली कि ये एक मानसिकता जो है, जो एक स्टेट ऑफ माइंड है, इसे चेंज करना बहुत आवश्यक है. What we are doing is more or less we are working outwardly. What we need to do is we need to work inwardly. So when women are going out to contribute in the workforce, they are empowered, they are into participation outside the home. Back home, every woman is expected to be a caregiver. So I think when women move out in the world of work, the men also have to learn to move towards child rearing, caregiving, and kitchens. So only when we are equal in terms of our role, we will be truly appreciating each other, and lots of things have improved, but still more things need to be done where the mindset is of the equals. So I'm very, very fortunate that I've been a part of this August gathering. And I would just like to wish all the men and the women out there who are a participant to this program, the guests who have joined us, thank you so much on behalf of all the collaborative institutes that we have been able to have this wonderful program. Once again, thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, ma'am. कहने को बहुत कुछ है, और समीर जी ने आज ऐसा समा बांधा है कि जूम मीटिंग पर बहुत सारे दिग्गज लोग एकत्रित हो गए हैं, पर घड़ी की सुइयां दस्तक दे रही हैं, और इसी के साथ हम इस समारोह का समापन करते हैं. नाउ आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट ऑल ऑफ यू टू टेक पोजीशन फॉर नेशनल एंथम.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा ही तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
So we can end our meeting here. And thank you once again to all of you.
Thank you so very much for the wonderful program. Thank you, Dr. Tanya ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Gadiali
you,
ma'am,
thank you.
and our worthy chief guest, and all other dignitaries and delegates who participated in the event to make it a wonderful event. Thank you once again. Thanks.
Good luck and God bless.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
God bless.
Namaskar, sir.
Yes. कहिए